Hello and welcome to LifeClub, presented to you by Tieke. Through LifeClub, we work with young learners like you in nurturing your career and character, the two most important aspects of your life. This Saturday, we are excited to go live and share with you how to break barriers like Neeraj Chopra. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a moment and do it right now so that whenever we go live, you will get a notification. When we launch or upload a live lesson in our YouTube channel, you will get an alert. So please take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. Our rapidly changing, highly interconnected, and diverse world comes with many positive, such as advances in medicine, education, industry, and commerce. However, it also comes with a lot of challenges or barriers. You need to overcome these challenges and barriers as individuals or as communities. Many barriers have been established within the systems and structures of our society. These barriers have been often based on physical abilities, gender, financial position, and severely impact full participation of an individual in various aspects of his life in the society. While some people have managed to break these barriers and prove their abilities beyond what one could imagine, few have failed in their attempt to break barriers in their lives. Neeraj Chopra is one such person who have gone on to break all the barriers that came his way, and he went on to win the Olympics gold medal for India. He is the second person to have won the gold medal in Olympics. He is also someone who has won this gold medal in his Olympics debut. In LifeClub this Saturday, let's learn how to break barriers in life, looking into the life of Neeraj Chopra. Neeraj Chopra is an Indian track and field athlete. He was born in the year 1997. He is a reigning Olympics champion in javelin throw. As of August 2021, he is ranked second internationally by World Athletics. A junior commissioned officer in the Indian Army, Neeraj Chopra is the first track and field athlete to win a gold medal for India at the Olympics. He is also the first track and field athlete from India to win at the IAAF World U20 Championships, where in 2016, he achieved a world under 20 record throw of 86.48 meters, becoming the first Indian athlete to set a world record. Neeraj Chopra is also one of the first athletes to have gone on to the world stage and proved in great order for his country. Neeraj Chopra participated in the 2018 Commonwealth Games and the 2018 Asian Games, serving as a flag bearer in the Asian Games and winning medals, gold medals in both the Asian Games and the Commonwealth Games. In his debut at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Chopra won the gold medal on 7th August 2021 with a throw of 87.58 meters in his second attempt. As of 2021, he is one of the only two Indians to have won an individual Olympics gold medal, the other being Abhinav Bindra, whose life we sort of learned from a couple of weeks back. He is also the youngest ever Indian Olympic gold medalist in an individual event and the only one to have won gold medal in his Olympics debut. Neeraj Chopra is seen as an athlete who could finally end the country's long wait for a medal during the run-up to Tokyo Olympics in the track and field segment. The 23-year-old javelin thrower had been in the spotlight ever since 86.48 meter throw in Poland at the World Under 20 Championship in 2016. becoming the first ever Indian to win a junior athletic crown. Neeraj's personal best throw is a throw of 88.07 meters at the Indian Grand Prix in Patiala, India in March, during the year March 2021. And he looks very well prepared for Olympics that year. But the competition at Tokyo was definitely not easy for Neeraj, because he would be competing against champions like Germany's Vetter, whose personal best was at 97.76 meters. During the run-up to Olympics in Tokyo, Anju Bobby George, a former Indian Olympian who serves as a senior vice president of the Athletic Federation of India, mentioned that while Neeraj can break the 90-meter barrier in javelin throw, given the fact that he had missed several competitions before Olympics due to COVID-19, he is somebody the country could rely upon. It was not going to be easy for him. He was a junior world champion. He was a bright star and a great javelin throw athlete who could definitely win a medal for country. But during the run-up to Olympics, he faced a lot of challenges by not being able to participate in many tournaments due to COVID-19 restrictions. But Anju Bobby George said that he, as an athlete, has the ability to break that barrier as well. The barrier of not being able to practice well, perform before COVID-19 restrictions came in. She said, we are just waiting for his performance. Unfortunately, he also missed many competitions before Olympics, but he is someone who could break barriers and win a gold or possibly a medal for India. Neeraj went on to do that. Not just a medal, he won the gold medal by being in the Olympics for the very first time as an individual athlete in the javelin throw segment. Now, if he could break barriers, what are we talking here? What is breaking barriers all about? Bruce Lee once said, don't pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to endure a difficult life. No matter who you are or where you come from, barriers exist. They limit us from achieving what we want. There are many reasons why barriers exist, whether it is diversity, culture, gender, or societal concerns. They are often the reason why many people are left behind. Even though the world now has changed progressively compared to, say, 5 or 6 decades ago, there are still many barriers around us. Barriers limit or prevent us from achieving success. These elements can cause a hindrance for others from performing their best, exploring their potential, or stopping their progress completely as well. It's not just barriers stopping us, it could also prevent others and everyone in the society from achieving what they want to achieve. Breaking barriers in history was never been easy, but it is never impossible too. People have shown how to break barriers, overcome them, and go on to achieve success in life. Now, if that's the case, the very next question that would come to your mind is, why should I break the barriers that come up in my life? We all have dreams. We all have goals. To reach the destination we want, every road is different. Some are longer than others. Some are filled with barriers or potholes. There are plenty of things that can stand between you and the ability to achieve your dream or your destination. Some include fear, procrastination, not having patience, not being able to take quick decisions, or surrounding ourselves with negative people who discourage us. It could even be a lack of faith in yourself. When you allow a barrier to stop you from reaching what you want in life, you are giving that barrier a power over you. It shouldn't have happened, but you have given that barrier the power over you. The barrier then becomes excuses, and it is important that we put aside these excuses. If we have to put aside these excuses in order to break these barriers, for us to be able to achieve what we want to achieve in life, we need to understand the different types of barriers that exist today. Some are personal, some are external, driven by the society or the community that we live in. But it's very important that we understand the different types of barriers. Let me take you through a few of them here. One of the most common types of barriers is a cultural barrier. It's in terms of diversity and inclusion. As the world moves forward towards a more globalized place, people are more exposed to different kinds of diverse cultures. While this can be a very good thing in promoting cultural appreciation and harmony, it has its own issues. People from different cultures will have different values and belief system. These may contradict the belief system and the values that of another culture. Things such as religion, dressing, food, social interactions, or even pets can cause cultural barriers between people. Cultural barriers can cause a person to feel uncomfortable, unwelcome, or isolated from the rest of the group. Even though he or she may not make it into a problem, it can take some time for them and for others to get used to different cultures. Secondly, attitudinal barriers. These are often based on bias, which generally stems out of upbringing or social influences and our understanding of different groups in the society. As a human being, we may see ourselves as being accepting of all different kinds of groups that exist in the society, but still we hold unconscious bias that may affect how we respond to the needs of some of the groups. These leads at times to what's called attitudinal barriers. Thirdly, communication barriers. There are different types of communication barriers. They can range from verbal to non-verbal to even environmental factors. Whether the barriers are tangible or intangible, they can still affect and limit effective communication. Non-verbal barriers in communication can be psychological or emotional. People who suffer from psychological disabilities may find it difficult to communicate. Depression, anxiety, or any phobia can limit the way a person interacts with others. Language factors also contribute to communication barriers. Someone who is not fluent in English may find it challenging to express their opinions in a dominantly English-speaking group. That leads to communication barriers again. Fourthly, gender barriers that often happen due to generalization because of gender bias. People may attach stereotypes to a specific gender, causing the person of that particular gender to receive unfair treatment. For example, some may believe girls talk a lot and like to gossip, while boys are very simple and practical. Gender barriers in schools can have detrimental issues. Someone with high potentials may not get a chance to gender bias barriers. Some may not listen to someone with valuable and great ideas just because gender barriers exist between them. Fifthly, mental barriers. Mental barriers are thought process that make you think you don't have the ability to do something you want to do or you need to do. The barriers may or may not be based in reality. For example, there's a mental barrier that makes you fear joining sports because you may get injured, or maybe a mental barrier that makes you afraid to leave your house when it is dark because you always fear that someone is following you, while actually no one is following you. It is mainly because of your thinking that something exists which is driven out of fear. Mental barriers could be detrimental to enable a person to achieve what he wants to achieve in his life. Now, these are various types of barriers that exist. One needs to understand each one of them for you to be able to overcome them and go on to achieve what you want to achieve in your life. Now, the next question that might come to your mind is, how should I break these barriers? I'm going to give you a few ways in which you can start to break barriers in your life. Well, I'm not in a position definitely to give you all the ways in which you can break barriers, but I can definitely give you a starting point today. Number one, break the fear of failure. Most people get stuck in life because of their fear of failure. What is so bad about failure that we fear it so much? Many people do not just understand, as to why they fear failure so much. You need to understand that failure will not harm or kill anybody. It's there to show you what your mistakes are and teach you what you need to know. Throughout life, you go through hardships before you can grasp a very valuable lesson from that particular hardship. Failure is a basic part of our life. You need to fail before you can breed success in your life. There is no way of succeeding at anything without having failed at some point. Don't think of failure as something you can avoid, but as a teacher or as an ally who is there to show you the path to success. Once you have shifted your way of thinking, you will fear failure less, and that's critical in breaking barriers in your mind. Secondly, do what you're afraid of doing. We all are afraid of something. It could be a concept, or it could be something that we imagine exists which doesn't even exist, or something smaller or more specific like spiders or heights. Our level of fear completely differ from person to person. If your fear start to affect your life, however big or small it is, you must find ways to get over it or at least reduce it to a manageable level. Repeatedly doing what you're afraid of doing can help you get over your fear. For instance, if you are afraid of speaking in large group, you can reduce your fear by practicing short presentations. Maybe you do that in front of your family members or your close friends. Do it again and again until you feel more confident about your work and the fear of communication or communicating in front of people dissipate in your mind. Do what you're afraid of doing repeatedly so that you will be able to overcome it. Thirdly, turn your doubts into motivation. Having a little bit of doubt can be useful in some cases. Doubts are an indication that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. Being innovative involves going beyond what is expected or the norms set already. When you go beyond your limits, you start to discover something new about yourself and what is around you. Doubt or doubts help you anticipate and see possibilities. It will encourage you to explore and dig deeper. Great innovators see what has already been done and enhance it or use it as an inspiration to create something totally new. They go past their personal doubts to achieve great things. In order to be able to break barriers in your life, you should turn your doubts into motivation shots. Fourthly, and finally, keep doing a reality check. People make assumptions of what others think of them. We sometimes let these assumptions control the way we think and behave. What is worse is that in most cases, these assumptions are false or wrong. You need to realign your perception to what the world really thinks. Confirmation is one way to do it. Do you think that your work is not good at all? Find an objective individual in your friends group or in your peer group who can tell you the truth and show you how you can improve. Whether it is for writing or it's for a sport or a work that you do at school or a different facet of your life. You can get a mentor or a personal coach who can tell you what you are and what you can do. A mentor or a coach can guide you in areas you need assistance with and help you improve yourself. Once you have done away with removing these mental barriers, you can start programming your mind for success. You still feel tired and beat up, and that is to be expected. Be proud of what you have accomplished so far and move forward to achieve what your heart and mind desire. And the only way to do that is consciously start following some of the tips that we discussed here today to break barriers that come up in your life. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a moment and do it right now so that when we go live every time, you will get a notification. We wish you have a great weekend and a very good week ahead. Thank you once again.